Getting into the next one, Anthony.
Next one is generalizations, which is basically men and women being opinionated. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how do you want to go for that one?
This one, it's
Or do you want to try to go?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to mention this. We're going to mention this one, right? Like I said, this is just something we observe, right?
Yeah.
So a man who's opinionated and a woman who's opinionated, who curates the same argument, can be completely perceived completely different, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm not saying that this is my own personal take. I'm saying this is what I see. Like I mentioned, and we're gonna make that very, very clear, right?
Yeah.
So a man that is opinionated, he's strong within his morals. He's very structured. He's well thought out. He's very opinionated, right? Strong opinion, right? A woman that has a strong opinion can sometimes be viewed as masculine, as too assertive, as bitchy. That's that. I'm not saying that. Like I said, I'm not saying that's me. I'm saying that's what people see, right?
That's how it's viewed.
Yeah, that's how it's viewed, right? So that is a double standard in itself. They can have the same exact view, the same exact opinion, structure it the same exact way, say it the same exact way. But if he's a man, you're going to be a little bit more okay with him having that opinion. Or if she's a woman, maybe you're going to look at it completely different. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, I think what it mostly is, right? I mean, it's going to be a double standard either way, but I think there is actually a way to get around this one, and that's knowing how to structure your words when you say them, right?
No, I feel like also tonality plays a big part as well.
Yeah, yeah. The way you speak, yeah, how you sound when you speak, yeah. It definitely does play a role, right? If you're yelling, you're screaming, right, or you sound complainy, right? Like you're giving that tone of,
Yeah.
I don't really know how to explain it. That annoyed, aggressive, passive aggressive tone of voice, right?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
It's seen as they're like you're just she's just complaining, right? But if he talks with a calm, serious tone, right, and make the words more more understandable, right? Where it's soft spoken, but it gets a point across, right, effectively. It's a better way of what's it called, of getting your point across without being seen as being seen in a negative light.
Okay, so would you say more often than not, if somebody's opinionated,
Yeah,
they're more likely going to be perceived a certain way, like kind of like we had mentioned, right? So let's just say women, for example, right? I don't know if I should ask you this, but I'm gonna ask you it anyways. So are you saying that there's a lot of women that are opinionated that do not know how to properly give the perception that they want and still be opinionated at the same time?
yeah. Well, yeah. Not. I mean, everyone has a voice. Not everyone knows how to use it, though.
Okay.
So I'd say yeah. I'd say a lot of women, right? They just they say it with a lot of feeling without thinking about how what they're actually saying. How what they're saying affects how what they're saying affects their audience, right? Like
Okay.
what their audience, how their audience will respond to it, right? They just they say it is how they're feeling in the moment, right? Or how, well, maybe not even in the moment. It could be just in general, right?
Okay.
But it doesn't occur how it would be perceived by the audience, right?
So are you saying
Which is
men are
what
are you saying men are more conscious of how they are going to be perceived by being opinionated?
mm, well, they kind of have to be sometimes. Yes, some women are, right?
Okay.
But in modern society, women can get away with saying a lot more things than men can. So
Sure.
for sure. So they naturally they don't have to be as cautious. But I will say though, because some men do the same thing sometimes too. Though they'll go on a rant and they just like, yo, this dude is wilding, right?
I got something.
You got something?
Go ahead. I'll go ahead and finish off. We'll go finish off, and then I got something to say. Yeah.
All right. So pretty much, I'm like, basically, consider how your audience will perceive your message, right?
Okay.
It's probably the biggest part, right? If you want to, it's the only way. I mean, no matter how you perceive them, no matter how you go about saying something, there's always going to be negative comments either way, right? People who just don't agree in general, right?
Yeah.
It is what it is, right? There's always another side of the spectrum that they're just not going to understand. However, right, if you consider, right, take less emotion and put in more logic, right, then your words mean a lot more, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So I feel like that's what it is. That's what it is, right? Men try to at least talk some for the most part with more logic, right? While women just do it with more emotion, right? But there are women, right? They're the ones I actually prefer to listen to in these videos, right? That put the logic in there, right? And their message is so much more powerful, right? Just because the other ones are just ranting, they're the ones you see that always have a stitch, right? With someone who's actually speaking facts. And then the original video gets deleted because they just absolutely obliterated them with actual logic, right?
Mm.
And that's why their message is more seen as complaining, right?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to when men are saying things, right?
Yeah. So yeah, you're exactly right. It's just a matter of how much emotion you're willing to put into it,
Exactly.
without it being too much.